Are you having difficulty catching Venaris? Are you still struggling even though you are recording your catches on an Excel sheet? It's probably because you are not taking note of this. These are called action prompts. And in this video, I'll be showing you what I learned about action prompts, and I'll share my data with you guys with a cheat sheet to help you with your Venari catching. But first, please double check if you are subscribed. It's free and it totally helps me out. I usually make guides like these for NFT games, so keep a lookout. Anyway, in my beginner's guide video, I told you guys to notice the prompts that were popping up. But at the time, I didn't know what each prompt meant. After scrounging the Legends of Venari Discord, I found out that there is actually an optimal action combo for each Venari. So what does an optimal action combo mean? Optimal action combos, or I'll call them OACs, mean that each action slot has an action that is more effective than others for a particular Venari. To make this more clear, think of it like 3 slots, and each slot has a best action. For example, this Air Laticus, the OAC is Fight, Fight, and Fight. If you try and do the other actions like Play or Feed, then it has a higher chance of failure. And if it's not all the same action, then changing the order will also have a lesser chance of success. But this particular OAC doesn't guarantee 100% success. Each action is RNG, and there is a percentage chance that it will still fail. For example, I do the Air Laticus encounter again and do Fight, Fight, Fight like before. But you can see that one of the fights actually fail, but the other 2 still succeed. So how can we find out what the best action is for a particular Venari when we are recording data? Well, we have to look at each action prompt. Every time you do an action, a text prompt will show up. But just because you succeeded in doing an action doesn't always mean it is the best or optimal action. There are times that when you do an action, it can succeed, but the chances of it succeeding are actually lower than it would be if you used a different action. Based on reading the prompts and the data I collected, these are all the prompts of Play, Fight, and Feed, and what each of them means. So looking at Play, if you see the word eager or eagerly, that means these actions have a higher chance of success. On Fight, if you see fought back, then these have the higher chance of success. And when you see Feed and you see the word hungrily watched, that means these actions have a higher chance of success. On the Feed, it's a little bit more complicated because some prompts can also indicate if you have the best bait, an okay bait, or you have to change your bait because the Venari does not like what you're trying to feed it. Let's tackle some of the questions you might have about these action prompts. Does the element of the Venari matter? Yes, different element Venaris of the same kind will have different action prompts. A Fire Laticus will have a different OAC than an Air Laticus, for example. Does the rig change the OAC? No. There was a bug before the January 7 patch which messed up the OACs for certain Venari when you're using a Lyrium rig, but it has now been fixed. However, it is easier to make a bad action succeed with certain rigs, but it doesn't change the OAC. In connection to this, what is the best rig to get? If you have all of the OACs, which I will show you later on in an Excel file, then the best rig to buy is the Otis rig because it provides a bonus to all 3 actions, unlike the Lyrium or the Alum rigs, which only provide a bonus to one particular action. Does the region change the OAC for a particular Venari? No, an Air Laticus in Aina will have the same OAC as an Air Laticus in Tecta. Can there be more than one OAC per Venari? I've seen some data with conflicting results, and there might be an exception to using higher level baits due to a Discord message from Ledompix, which leads me to believe that using high level baits might be able to brute force catching a Venari. But as of now, with the data I currently have, I'm led to believe that there is only one OAC per Venari. I recorded data before, but the actions are not working. There can be two reasons for this. Number one, you recorded data before the January 7 patch, which changed a lot of the OACs. So any data before that patch should be discarded. And number two, you might not have been recording the action prompts. And like I said, you need to know the action prompts and what they mean to get accurate data. How should you be preparing and recording data? Here, let me show you my Excel sheet. The important data here is the Venari, the tier, the element, the action slots, and the action prompt slots. And over here, the important part is the bait used, so you know if you're using a good bait, an okay bait, or bad bait. And these are just optional, but it's good to record these other data as well. So how do we interpret the data that we get? I'll give you an example by using this Mika. Here we attempt to use it by using the actions fight, play, and fight. And we actually succeed. So let's put this all in the Excel file. Here on the Excel file, we put fight and the prompt which says evaded, play that is eagerly played along with you, and fight once again which had the same prompt and failed. So looking at the action prompt guide, it says evaded, which means fight was the wrong action on that particular action slot, while the eagerly played means that it was the right action on that particular action slot. So we now know that fight, play, and fight does not work, but the play is correct. So we need to change fight to either feed or play. So we have to go back and face Mika once again. So now here we try play, play, and play. And we see that the last one actually fails, but it still gives the correct prompt. So now we can go back to the Excel sheet, record the second encounter's data, and as you can see, we now have the optimal action combo, which is play, play, and play. And this is why you need to continuously gather data in order to find the optimal action combos for future Venaris, especially after the alpha season. And now we get to the part everybody is waiting for, the cheat sheet of OACs. The cheat sheet I was initially planning to share with you guys was only recorded by me and 1 to 2 other people. And the list only had tier 1 Venaris and a couple of T2s. But the Delicious Guild recently made a cheat sheet of OACs for all of the Venari and released them just a couple of days ago. The sheet has information on Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 Venaris, including a prompt guide which I helped contribute to with my data on feed. I've linked that document down in the description of this video so you guys can take a look for yourself. They did say that if you found any mistakes or discrepancies in their cheat sheet to let them know, so if you find any, please leave them on the comment section down below. And I'll make sure to forward them to the DLS Guild. And that's it for this video. After the last 2 patches, my previous beginners video is already a bit outdated. I might update it in the future, but with more patches and fixes coming during this alpha season, I'll probably update that video after the alpha season, but before season 1 comes out. So things like the Oriya berry farming method is no longer advisable, and the Venaris start at lower catching odds, but OACs greatly increase their catching odds now. Anyway, let me know if this video helped you out. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions regarding action prompts. Like this video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be making more videos about Legends of Venari and other NFT games very soon, so keep a lookout for that. And that's it for now. This is your Captain Solthos signing out. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!